Hey, looky here, guys. Looky what I found. Looky what I found at my local Walmart. Yeah, get a little closer. Get a closer look. Check this out. That's right, M&Ms. But look at this. White candy corn M&Ms. Oh yeah, candy corn M&Ms. It doesn't get any better than that. M&Ms and candy corn flavor. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that one went down to the floor monster. I'll never see that one again. But I still have all these. Check this out, guys. Let me show you what's inside. Oh yeah, look at that. White chocolate. Oh yeah. I used to work at Nestle. A long time ago, I worked for Nestle Foods. And we made white chocolate right there in our plant. It was like working in a fantasy land. Guys, Christmas is a coming, and you got stockings to fill. If I were you, I'd be filling them with some of these white candy corn M&Ms. I don't know. I know I'm going to get me some. You do what you want. But I think you'll like them if you try them. All right, I'll get back to business now. For some time now, I've been complaining about the noise my fluorescent lights make. They're bright enough and they help me to see okay, but boy, they sure introduce a lot of noise into the radio signal when I'm testing a radio. Not only the fluorescent lights, but also these little goosenecks. I love these things for concentrating light just where I need it, but they have about the noisiest little wall warts I've ever seen. I pick them up at IKEA for about 10 bucks a piece, and I'll probably get some new ones. But they are terrible for noise. So I've been trying to figure out a way to get rid of some of the fluorescent light noise for a while. And I finally figured it out. Notice how well lit, you might not be able to tell in the camera, but no, I can sure see it. Notice how well lit that my bench is right now, the whole length of my bench. I bought at Amazon at a fairly decent price some new shop lights. These up here. And they're not ordinary shop lights, at least not by the standards that I grew up with. Because if you get a little closer and look at them, what you can see is they are LED shop lights. In fact, they're about 40 watts, where my fluorescent lights were about 65 watts. So these are going to save me money. They run a lot cooler, they don't flicker, and they're a heck of a lot brighter. And the thing is, as they age, that I don't think they're going to get dimmer like fluorescent lights do. And finally, the thing that I really love about it is I don't have to have a box of fluorescent tubes sitting around. See, what I like to do, I like to buy everything in bulk because I'm kind of impatient. And when I need something, I like to just go to my stash and get it. So I buy big boxes of fluorescent tubes, the I think 20 at a time kind. Well, this past summer, I was moving some things around on some new shelves that I have out in my storage area, and a big speaker with an output transformer on the side of it fell and landed right on my box of tubes. Well, that's really cool that the box of tubes were able to prevent the speaker from getting damaged, but every single tube in that box was ruined. So, I don't know, I forget how much that cost me. I think that was about a $40 hit. Well, now I don't need to keep those tubes around. So I spend about $50 a piece on these lights. And now I'll have them, hopefully, if the claims are right, I'll have them for the next 20 years without having to replace anything. Even if they last 5 years, I'll be happy because I won't have to replace tubes during that time, and I'll just buy another set when they die. So here's something to think about, guys. Just take a look. Go on Amazon or wherever you like to shop. I like Amazon because I hate to go to the stores and hate to drive anywhere to shop. So I just do the Amazon Prime thing. These were $47.99 a piece. And they were shipped free. They were Amazon Prime, so that's exactly what I paid, $47.99 a piece. So something to think about, guys. Just my little tip for the day. That's all for now. When you get to be an old fart like me, you start to lose things like your car keys, your mind, especially your eyesight. Lately, I've always had bad eyes since I was young. But lately, I've been having some real problems with my eyesight, and trying to see these radios has not been easy. So I thought I'd try something I've seen other people do, but I always thought, man, that's just for old folks. I don't want to do that. Why in the world would I want to do that? It just looks dumb. But you know what? I ordered a pair on Amazon, and here's what I got. Check this out. Now, I know it looks weird, and I know you wouldn't want to take your new girl out wearing these things. But when you're working on a radio, when you're trying to peek down at that terminal and make yourself a good solder joint at the hardest to reach terminal in the whole chassis, these things are handy, man. Now the ones I bought came with 4 different lens sets, and they're made by a good brand. I'm sure they're all fine, but these were made by probably one of the most reputable brands. And the whole set, I think, cost me $35. It's worth it. Because now when I'm looking in that chassis, I can actually see what I'm doing. And it makes things a whole lot easier. So my new lights and these things, and man, I'm going to town. I can see what I'm doing. I'm actually getting some work done. Just another tip for the day, guys. All right, that's all for now. I'm a fan of using desoldering braid to get the solder off of terminals that I need to get to replace components on. As I've said before, if there is more than one component that needs replacing on a terminal, then I don't do the coil method on more than one. I remove the old components from the terminal. Now, when you do this, there are going to be components that you want to save. For example, this mica capacitor, I'm sure is fine. I've only seen one bad mica capacitor ever. And so I tend to leave those alone. And then if I run into trouble during troubleshooting, I'll check them and identify if there's a problem there. But usually that's not the issue. But you notice what I just did. I put an alligator clip on the lead for the mica capacitor. The reason I did that is that one of the things that will maybe cause a problem with a mica capacitor, I mean, I'm not sure of this, but I'm not going to take any chances, is to apply excessive heat to the thing. That terminal, that wire, that lead wire for the capacitor will take the heat that I'm applying to desolder this terminal right into the capacitor. And I don't want to cause any problems. The mica maybe maybe can crack from excess heat in one spot. Who knows? Mica's pretty tolerant of heat. I mean, it's used in ballasts and things like that, but perhaps applying concentrated heat in one location is not good for it. So I don't take the chance. I do this too with resistors I'm going to save and capacitors I'm going to save. I'll put an alligator clip or some other sort of a heat sink on that terminal. And one of the other heat sinks that I like to use is this guy right here. It's got a little bit of flux on there. It looks kind of rough right now, but it's just, it used to have a spring on it, and the spring kept falling out, so I found that a grommet actually worked better, so I stuck a grommet in there. And this thing grips the lead, and it takes just enough heat away to prevent the thing from being damaged. When you're applying heat to a component that you want to reuse, it's better to, if you can, to take measures to prevent that heat from causing problems with it. So that's just a tip of the day. Do you remember back in the day? Back in the day when you used to walk a couple of miles, as a teenager, to your favorite record store and pick up one of these. Yeah, you remember these, right? These are vinyl. Vinyl. Yes, everybody knows vinyl's making a comeback. But old farts like me have been around long enough to know what it was like to buy vinyl back when vinyl was all there was. Unless, of course, you had dough and you had a reel-to-reel deck. I didn't, and I just had vinyl. But I remember walking. I walked a long way to buy this record, as a matter of fact. This is Rush, Permanent Waves. Good record. Real good record. But check this out. New stuff is coming out. This is not brand new. It's a couple of years old. But brand new stuff is coming out on record, too. LP, and good quality ones. I get these at Amazon. I buy everything at Amazon. And they don't pay me anything, and I'm not advertising for Amazon. I just like it because it's easy, and I like to tell other people about it. Check it out. Another record. This is The Frames. Good stuff. Real good stuff. I like folk music. And you remember getting the double record set. What a bonus that was. You remember looking at the outer jacket. You read all the names of the songs. You checked out all the art. Remember that? I do. I still like to do it. And you pick up the record. You pull it out. You slide out the inner sleeve. And check it out. There's some cool artwork. Right? And all the credits, nice and big and easy to read. Sometimes there was the lyrics were on the inside. You remember all that. Now, I can't play any of this on my turntable now because I don't want to get a copyright ding. But I just want to remind you, man, that vinyl is out there. It's still out there. It's still going strong. These are all new records. This is new stuff. This is stuff you could go buy brand new today And all the best artists are releasing on vinyl. And I like that, so I want to encourage them all I can. And do you remember this? When you got the double record set with the fold out outer cover? How cool is that? There was usually some good artwork. If it was a heavy metal band, then there was a bunch of long hair on it. But other than that, there was some pretty cool artwork. I don't know, I miss it. But I don't have to miss it too much because I can buy brand new stuff this way. And the cool thing about these days is when you buy brand new vinyl, you usually get a download card with it. That way you can immediately load this sucker in your computer and put it on your phone and play it in your car. And you don't have to wear your record out recording it just so you can put it on a CD to play in your car. So check it out, guys. If you're missing the old days of dropping the needle onto the vinyl, you don't have to miss it. Get yourself a good turntable, plug it into a nice tube amp, and away you go. Just go out there and check out where you can buy this stuff. Oh, by the way, in Salt Lake City, we have a really cool little used record store called Randy's Records. Just about every big city, there's a used record store somewhere. Go check them out because I buy an awful lot. This is just a tiny, tiny piece. These are the records I play the most. I probably bought about 10,000 records in the last few years. I buy a lot of vinyl, and most of it is used and in good, decent condition. And I can play it on most of my equipment. So go check it out, guys. It's worth thinking about. Vinyl is the way to go. And if you're into vintage sound, vinyl is the only way to go. All right, it's my last tip for today. That's all for now.